The Imperial crowns of Charles VII of Bavaria. The Imperial crowns of Charles VII are kept in the treasury at the Munich residence. Since the Imperial crown was merely used for coronations, the Holy Roman Emperor used different crowns for other purposes. While the Habsburgs were in possession of their own imperial crowns, Charles VII did not possess an imperial crown when he was elected as emperor in 1742. Thus he ordered a crown from a goldsmith in Augsburg and one from another artisan in Frankfurt am Main. The Crown of Saint Wenceslas, a crown forming part of the Bohemian crown jewels, made in 1346. Charles IV, King of Bohemia and Holy Roman Emperor, had it made for his coronation, dedicating it to the first patron saint of the country, Saint Wenceslas, and bequeathed it as a state crown for the coronation of the future Bohemian kings. It is made of 21 to 22 carat, that's 88 to 92% gold, and decorated with 91 precious stones and 20 pearls. It has a total of 19 sapphires, 44 spinels, 1 ruby and 30 emeralds. An old Czech legend says that any usurper who places the crown on his head is doomed to die within a year. The Muscovy Crown. It was made in about 1610 in anticipation of Prince Władysław Vasa's coronation as Tsar of Russia, which was also known as Muscovy due to his father's opposition and popular uprising in Russia. He never actually took the Russian throne, despite being elected. The crown is made in the form of the rims covered with the globe and a cross on their intersection. It was decorated with precious stones, including sapphires, emeralds, rubies, and pearls. In total, there were 255 stones. It was pawned lawlessly in 1700 by King Augustus II the Strong, and later appropriated by Frederick I of Prussia. The Crown of Rus. The Crown of Russia, also known by the Crown Kingdom of Russia, Daniel of Galicia, was crowned in 1253. The crown is believed to have been lost. However, there are many speculations on where it might be located, including Poland, the Vatican, the United Kingdom, the United States, and Russia. The Small Diamond Crown of Queen Victoria. It is a miniature imperial and state crown made at the request of Queen Victoria in 1870 to wear over her widow's cap following the death of her husband, Prince Albert. It was perhaps the crown most associated with the Queen and is one of the crown jewels on display to the public. It is made up of 2 joining arches surmounted by a cross. Each of the arches runs from a cross patée along the rim of the base. Between each cross is a fleur-de-lis. Because of its small size, 9 centimetres, which is 3.5 inches across, and 10 centimetres, which is 4 inches high. The crown possesses no internal cap. It contains 1,162 brilliant and 138 rose-cut diamonds weighing 132 carats. Unlike coloured gemstones, diamonds were seen as acceptable to wear in mourning. The crown weighs 160 grams, which is 5 3/4 ounces in total. The Imperial Crown of the Holy Roman Empire. It was the coronation crown of the Holy Roman Emperor, probably from the late 10th century until the dissolution of the Holy Roman Empire in 1806. The crown of 8 hinged golden plates was probably made in Western Germany for the imperial coronation of Otto I in 962 AD, with later additions by Conrad II. The first preserved mention of it is from the 12th century. Each plate of the crown is made out of a high carat gold, around 22 carats, which gives the crown a buttery colour and is studded with pearls and precious stones. The stones are not cut into facets, a technique still unknown when the crown was made, but polished into rounded shapes and fixed into openings that were cut into the metal and then fastened with thin wires. The crown is decorated with 144 uncut precious stones, including sapphires, emeralds and amethysts, blue, green and purple being proper to emperors in Byzantine imperial protocol, and there are about the same number of pearls. The Imperial Crown of Brazil, also known as the Crown of Dom Pedro II, or as the Diamantine Crown. It was created by the goldsmith Carlos Martin and was first exhibited to the public in July 1841, just days before the new monarch's coronation on July the 18th. The crown's frame is made of 18-carat gold. Its circlet base supports 8 imperial semi-arches connected at the top, which in turn is surmounted by a jewelled cross. Inside the half arches lie a dark green velvet cap, matching the dark green colour of the top surface of the emperor's robe. The crown is set with 639 precious stones, all diamonds, and 77 pearls of 8 millimeters each. The crown weighs 1.9 kilograms, which is 4.2 pounds, has a diameter of 20.5 centimeters and is 31 centimeters high. It is considered one of the most splendid works of Brazilian jewellery. The Crown of Queen Mary. Made for Queen Mary, the wife of King George V in 1911, Mary bought the Art Deco inspired crown from Garrett & Co. and hoped that it would be worn by future queen consorts. It is unusual for a British crown due to having 8 half arches. It is 25 centimeters tall and weighs 590 grams. The silver gilt crown has around 2,200 rose-cut and brilliant cut diamonds, and originally contained the 105.6 carat Koh-i-Noor diamond, as well as the 94.4 carat Cullinan III diamond and the 63.6 Cullinan IV diamond, and the arches were made detachable so that it could be worn as a circlet. Mary wore it like this after George V died in 1936. Since Queen Mary died in 1953, the crown has not been worn, but it is still on display with the other crown jewels at the Tower of London. The Empress Crown. It is part of the coronation regalia used by the only Empress of Iran, Farah Pahlavi. The frame of the crown is made of white gold and is lined with a cap of green velvet. The crown contains 36 emeralds, 105 pearls, 34 rubies, 2 spinels, and 1,469 diamonds. The largest emerald is located in the centre of the sunburst on the front of the crown and weighs approximately 92 carats. The 2 largest spinels are approximately 83 carats, and the largest pearl is 22 millimeters long. In her memoir, the former empress extols the beauty of the crown, but notes that it was also quite heavy, weighing nearly 2 kilograms. The coronet of Charles, Prince of Wales. The gold coronet with diamonds set in platinum was made for and used by Prince Charles at his investiture as Prince of Wales in 1969. Designed by the artist Louis Osman, it has been described as modern, but its form is traditional. The centre of the arch is a mond, which is actually a gold-plated ping-pong ball engraved with the Prince of Wales's insignia, surmounted by a cross. Orbiting the mond are 13 square diamonds set in platinum, arranged as the constellation of Scorpio, the prince's star sign. Within the 24-carat textured gold base is a purple velvet cap lined with ermine. Around the base are 4 crosses and 4 abstract fleur-de-lis, sparsely decorated with diamonds and emeralds. The diamonds on the base are intended to represent the 7 deadly sins. In total, it has 75 diamonds and 12 emeralds. It weighs 1.36 kilograms or 3 pounds. It measures 26.5 centimeters tall and is 28.8 centimeters in diameter at the widest point. The Crown of Wuttenberg. It consists of gold, diamonds, pearls and emeralds. Many of the diamonds were donated by the jewel collector, Duke Carl Alexander. The crown was never traditionally worn, rather it was carried during ceremonies. The appearance of the crown was last modified in 1897. In 1945, the crown was confiscated by French troops, but later returned to Wurtemberg. The crown of Louis XV of France. The crown was created for King Louis XV in 1722. It was used at his coronation and was embellished with diamonds from the royal collection. It originally contained the Sancy diamond in the fleur-de-lis at the top of the arches and the famous Regent diamond, which was set in the front of the crown, as well as hundreds of other precious diamonds, rubies, emeralds and sapphires. Monomachus cap, also called the Golden Cap, is a chief relic of the Russian Grand Princes and Tsars. It is a symbol crown of the Russian aristocracy. It is an early 14th century gold filigree skull cap composed of 8 sectors, elaborately ornamented with a scroll gold overlay inlaid with precious stones, rubies and emeralds and pearls, and trimmed with sable. The cap is surmounted by a simple gold cross with pearls at each of the extremities. The Diamond Crown of Bulgaria. The crown originally belonged to Queen Marie Antoinette of France. It was given to Princess Clementine of Orleans as a dowry, together with a golden carriage also belonging to Marie Antoinette. Both of those items ended in the possession of the Bulgarian royal family. The original top of the crown was replaced from the French fleur-de-lis to the Bulgarian bull with a cross on top of it. The crown was first used by Princess Marie-Louise of Bourbon-Parma on her wedding to Prince Ferdinand I. It later passed and was used by Ferdinand's second wife, Princess Eleanor, but the current whereabouts of the crown is unknown. The Reliquary Crown of Henry II, a medieval crown which came from the reliquary of Saint Henry II, Holy Roman Emperor, born 972 and died 1024 at Bamberg Castle. It consists of 6 plates which are joined together by hinges fixed with pins. Each of the plates carries a large fleur-de-lis. The pins are surmounted by praying angels. 4 of the segments and all fleur-de-lis are adorned with precious stones, while 2 carry antique cameos. The decoration of the frame with the foliage work seems to be of later date than the frame itself. Due to fitting slots at the front and back segments, it is possible to add an imperial arch and a cross on the frame. St. Edward's Crown. Named after Saint Edward the Confessor, it has been traditionally used to crown English and British monarchs at their coronations since the 13th century. The present variation of the St. Edward's Crown was added to for Charles II in 1661. It is solid gold, 30 centimetres tall, and weighs 2.23 kilograms, which is 4.9 pounds, and is decorated with 444 precious and semi-precious stones. The crown is similar in weight and overall appearance to the original, but its arches are Baroque. The Crown of Gaia. Believed to be the headgear of the elite Gaya Confederacy, the crown is believed to be from the 5th or 6th century. It measures 11.5 centimetres in height and 3.6 centimetres in width. It is 20.7 centimetres in diameter. The headband is made of gold. It is decorated with tiny gold mirrors which are attached to the band. The band itself is incised with dotted decorations running on the top and bottom in a diamond motif. The Hungarian Crown. The original Hungarian regalia were handed over by Queen Isabella to Ferdinand of Austria in 1551 when she was forced to leave Transylvania, which fell into Ferdinand's hands. The Hungarian crown was made in the form of rims topped with a globe and a cross at the intersection. It was decorated with enamel plaques, filigree work, pendants and precious stones, including 4 large sapphires and rubies. The crown of Christian V of Denmark. It was the crown used at the coronation of all of Denmark's absolute kings. While the reign of such monarchs ended in 1849, the crown is still used during a Danish king's castrum Dolores. The last time, in 1972, the closed shape was inspired by the crown of Louis XIV of France, but the lily shape points of the French crown were replaced by palmettes and adorned with a row of diamonds intertwined with palmette, in the way a white play of light was created, which was framed by blue and red in the sapphires and garnets of the crown ring. The Queen of Denmark Crown. This crown is made like that of Christian V, but more slender. It is decorated with table-cut diamonds that are assumed to come from the 1648 crown of Queen Sophie Amalie. The crown of Queen Alexandra. This was the consort crown of British Queen Alexandra of Denmark. It was manufactured for the 1902 coronation of King Edward VII and Queen Alexandra. The crown departed from the standard style of British crowns and was more akin to European royal crowns. It was less upright than normal British crowns and more squat in design, with an unprecedented 8 half arches. Its front arch joins a jewelled cross in which was set the Koh-i-Noor diamond. The arches were made detachable, allowing the crown to be worn as a circlet. The crown of Queen Alexandra was not worn by later queens. The State Crown of George I. This is the Imperial and State Crown manufactured in 1714 for King George I. It was modified and used by subsequent monarchs until 1838. The crown was made by royal jeweller Samuel Smithin and incorporated some of the jewels and pearls from the old crown, with the addition of 265 new pearls, 160 diamonds, 6 emeralds and 2 sapphires. Very little change was made to either the shape of the crown or the arrangement of the stones. The gold frame is 20.4 centimetres tall and the modern cross surrounding it are 8.5 centimetres tall. The Essen Crown. This is an Ottonian golden crown in the Essen Cathedral treasury. It was claimed that it might have been the crown with which the 3-year-old Otto III was crowned King of the Romans in 983. However, the idea is now widely rejected. The band is 3.5 centimetres wide and its diameter is now 12.5 centimetres. Having been adjusted to fit the head of the Golden Madonna. A regular border of precious stones runs along the whole circumference. The main circlet is made of gold, which has been heavily alloyed with silver. A second circlet of pure gold has been soldered onto the outside. An iron reinforcing ring is visible on the outside. The upper and lower edges of the crown are decorated with pearls strung on a metal wire. Numerous pearls and gemstones decorate the main body of the crown and the lilies, with the most precious stones placed directly under the lilies. The crown of Frederick I of Prussia. Made by the court jewellers for Frederick I of Prussia in 1701, who crowned himself and his wife Sophia Charlotte in a Baroque ceremony. The crown was also used for the coronation of Frederick William I and his son Frederick II, better known as Frederick the Great. He was a very frugal monarch, and although the crown was present at his coronation, he did not wear it. The crown of Christian IV. The circlet is ornamented with 6 sets of table-cut diamonds between 2 large round pearls. Between each of these sets are star-like ornaments of triangular and square table-cut diamonds. On the upper rim of the circlet are 6 large and 6 small points. At the centre of each of the large points is an enamelled allegorical figure of one of the king's ruling functions and virtues. The 3 points above the king's forehead and behind each of his ears bears a pelican in her piety. The 6 smaller points each bears a star-like design in triangular and square table diamonds with a large pear-shaped pearl at its top. The Monomachus Crown. This is a set of pieces of engraved Byzantine goldwork. It consists of 7 gold plates depicting Byzantine Emperor Constantine IX, Monomachus, his wife Zoe, her sister Theodora, 2 dancers and 2 allegorical figures. 2 gold medallions enamelled with saints and a small piece with cut glass in a setting were also found. Probably they did not form part of the same object. The group has puzzling aspects that have long made it the subject of scholarly debate. It was probably made in Constantinople in around 1042. The Grand Ducal Crown of Tuscany. In January 1570, Cosmo I was crowned by Pius in Rome. Spain and Austria refused to recognise the new title, though France and England immediately recognised its validity. With time, all of Europe came around. The crown of the Grand Duke of Tuscany was clearly distinct from both princely and ducal crowns. It was a gold circlet decorated with emeralds, rubies and pearls, with rays projecting from the top. Uniquely, the crown had a large fleur-de-lis at the front in the centre. The Queen of Norway's crown. The crown of the Queen Consort of Norway was made in 1830 for Desiree Clary's coronation, which did not take place, and was first used in 1860 for the coronation of Louise of the Netherlands. It was made in Stockholm. It is unknown by whom. It is made of silver, gilt and gold and is decorated with a number of multicoloured gems and pearls, including violet, amethysts, yellow, citron and topaz, and green emeralds. It weighs approximately 530 grams. The Steel Crown of Romania. Carol I chose steel and not gold to symbolise the bravery of the Romanian soldiers. He received it during the ceremonies of the coronation and of the proclamation of Romania as a kingdom in 1881. It is the same crown used in 1922 at the coronation of Ferdinand I and Queen Maria as sovereigns of Romania. The coat of arms of Romania was augmented on the 11th of July 2016 to add a representation of the steel crown. The Avanton gold cone. It was found in 1844 in a field near the village of Avanton, France. It is 55 centimetres long and weighs 285 grams. Originally dated to the Middle Bronze Age and suggested to be a fertility symbol, it now appears to be of later date and more complex function. And this concludes the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please click the like button, give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe for future videos. Thank you.